Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Thanks for being part of all this and watching. I just did a meetup here for my Quant League group, and a follow-up set of questions came in, so I thought I'd share them with you. As a new member, I found material very stimulating. However, I do realize that much of it is of a historical and educational value. Get into that in a bit. I was wondering if you could help me with some insights from material which you teach that you currently use on a regular basis and find works well in today's market environment. As you said, you may have a couple of hundred algorithms detailed throughout. I was wondering if perhaps you might be able to point me in the right direction for just getting up and running to test proof some concepts and see what successful setup looks like in terms of technology and analytics. As I said tonight, this stuff can easily overwhelm a lot of people. Uh, the best place to go is go into my dashboard here and just go under Other Dashboard. In there, depending upon the technology you want to use, be it R or MATLAB, I've got some algorithms which represents a good chunk of the quote-unquote hundreds of algorithms that I have. And in here, you'll find different algorithms for different use cases. But I've done a complete analysis on MATLAB. I've done a complete analysis on R. These are fairly old, so I'm not sure what works and what doesn't work, but you can just go in and try them out because this is one of the areas that will not be around forever. But you can see here I've got R with courses on Quant, different classifications. Also, the other area that I would recommend anybody to really take advantage of is here, which also all this stuff will disappear. As you can see here, I've got different algorithms based upon the classification that you're interested in. So, for instance, GARCH, mean reversion, MCMC, PCA, paired trading, so on and so forth. I'm not sure what your goals are. What seems to work well is paired trading. GARCH can work well for Forex trading, not recommended for stock. That's probably it for now. Also, try mean reversion and anything else that suits your fancy. But this is probably all this stuff I'm showing you is most valuable. If you are really interested in what I've got, that's going to disappear. I've got a video here. If you go to my channel at quantlabs.net, if you, at YouTube, Quant Labs, that will take you there. If you look for hidden in the search bar here, you will see this video, Importance of Government, what you will miss in my Quant Elite membership once access is removed forever. Okay, let me address that. Okay, so all this material that he taught or questions he asked, I'm bringing that up, as well as here. A few weeks ago, I removed my annual Quant Elite membership deals. So now what I'm doing is I will be closing off my Quant Elite membership, at least to public access. You may be asking why. It's just, as I said in my group tonight, I have inventoried well over 300 algorithms in my membership, and obviously I want to maintain my trading edge. When I go into the Quant Analytics service, I'm going to be reactivating a lot of those algorithms over the next year and bringing them to fruition. A lot of it will come out of this session as well as all the other sessions as well. There's a very vast membership, so all of this stuff I mentioned here in the Quant Elite will be closed off to the public and eventually closed off to all my Quant Elite members. I'm stressing people should be taking advantage of it. Here's the thing, I will be closing it off without warning. The reason I do that is quite simply, if I give people today a 60-day, 30-day, or even a 90-day warning, they won't do anything. They won't act now. They'll leave it to the very last minute when I say final call in the last few days. They'll do a mad scramble in that membership, and then when I do close it off with no extensions, then they'll start to complain that I cut them off. Well, this is where things are going to close without warning. Okay, and that's why I'm doing that. Okay, so again, if you want to take advantage of it, you do it now. Not my job to manage your time or whatever your priorities are in your life. I've been warning for this for a while now, and times will come to a point now where it will be removed with public access. And then again, I don't think I'll be doing any public warning on it outside of these videos and maybe in my email service, and eventually having those get posted throughout my blog and my social media, especially on Facebook. All right, so I'm hoping this answers your question. Now, he's also asked another question, which is really good. Now, I've mentioned a book here. He asked about one more quick question. Can I get the Amazon link for the UNIX book you quickly displayed? And if there are any more great books you found helpful, I'd really appreciate any recommendations. Also looking forward to the next stage of your community with that chat room. Okay, so let me talk about this book. I'm not going to mention the book that I talked about or followed up, but I will give you this one, which was the original answer called UNIX Unleashed System Administrators Edition. I actually learned Unix off of this, and you'll notice it's Unix, not Linux. Now, the reason I say Unix versus Linux is that, right now I've been playing around with Linux, and I'm finding it really frustrating where, let's say for Ubuntu's trying to become like this mainstream desktop Linux version, and I'm going to tell you, it is getting better, but it's just, when you work with Mac, coming from a Windows world, like you're used to things being really slick and being very productive. I think when you go back in the time into the 1800s, working off of a command line, trying to do Linux and Unix stuff for the wrong reasons, you're going to be counterproductive. So what I'm planning to do over time, and again, I won't be going talking about this in public in the next bunch of months, but what I'm planning to do with my system when I do go eventually low latency, and when I do eventually go high frequency trading potentially, I'm not saying I will or won't, but this is the direction I definitely go. I have no real reason to go Linux anymore. Right now, I've pretty well come to the point where I'm going to be using Swift and Swift applications as my front end. I've talked about it for the last few months now, where Swift and iOS and Apple most secure. In the latency, I don't give a really rat's ass about. I'm just looking at it from a convenience point of view to go iOS, develop iOS apps for iPad, iPhone, Mac OS, as well as potentially with a new watch as it becomes more popular for little alerts. And maybe, who knows, I might even do a TV app. Who knows? But it's all done with one language out of one IDE, integrated development environment out of here called Xcode. And I'm on a Mac right now, as you can tell. So that is one of the big reasons why I'm going with Swift. When I've looked at the last top 20, let's say the top 20 most popular programming languages, I'll show you how far along these Swift has come. Here in this, the 9 most in-demand languages. And let me just do this again. Okay. So here's the typical TIOB, I don't know, whatever. You can see here Objective-C is number 10. That is dropping off, but when you look at Swift, it's number 12. Python, C, C++ are still up there. I'm still heavily interested in MATLAB. Go is the language that is being pushed for the Android. I've talked enough about iOS for security, convenience, slickness, or whatever. I'm okay with Swift, which is iOS from Apple. Okay, let's do another language. Most in-demand programming languages of 2016. Let's check this one out. we can see here Ruby, Rails, iOS is up there, Java, Java for Android, but there's no sign of Go on here for the new Android. So there's just less of Android development, it seems. Here's another one. This one's tracked from GitHub. So you can see here, once again, Objective-C is still up there, holding its own. Swift is now in the top 10, and Go. I mean, Go's still getting up there, which is good. But Swift is a fairly newer language than Go, but it's already up in the top 10, so that says that, and so on and so forth. I could go on about Swift and how it's getting very popular. So that's what I'm recommending people do now as a front end. The back end, obviously C++, using Python to push data into a central repository or data hub. I choose Redis for various reasons. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my Redis video playlist on my channel on YouTube. So there's that. And I want to be on one OS, and I'm just finding lately trying to work with Linux is just not working for me. It's still an important endeavor, so that's Linux. But coming back to my topic here of Unix, hopefully you've seen my discussion about BSD, which is Unix. And let me just pull up my channel here again. You'll see some videos I've done on BSD.
Hey there, how's your trading going?
And that is where both Java and C++ shine. I thought I had maybe free. No, I guess not. But I've done some demos of free BSD somewhere. Unix free, I don't know. But free BSD. Let's see, yeah, right here. Free BSD demos. So that's a definite direction I'm going. So that's why I'm recommending you to focus on Unix, not Linux. This is an old school book. And it's one of the first books from the 90s probably, but it's still valid. Why? Because Unix hasn't changed a whole lot from the core of the kernel, and this is a good book to work with, using also C as an example. I brought up in my group tonight the latest virus or whatnot, that Miria whatever, was written in C and Go, and the networking part was done in C. So if you want the networking stuff, you want to follow in the footsteps of C, and this is a good book to really learn the overall perspective of Unix with that in mind. Okay, hopefully I'll help you out, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for asking.